Welcome, welcome. Thank you, family friends, for joining me at Maria Loves to Talk. And you know what I'll be talking about, right? No candles, no perfumes. What are we talking about, you guys? Before we talk about what I'm doing, I want to know, what have you been up to? What are you doing? Are you still at work, or have you went to the mall? You went to the beach? I don't know. Are there any beaches open right now? Hey, are you still fighting the snow? So what am I doing? We will be talking about crime, crazy story, man accused. Listen, man, he's not a man, he's something else, but I'm going to just go ahead with how they said it here. Man accused of punching multiple girls at a basketball game, also charged with making threats with gun.
Alex, Christine, it's stunning video, and the only thing more wild than a 39-year-old man storming the court and punching teenage girls is the fact that it's his second time doing this. Flagrant foul turned full-blown melee. A broadcast of a girls' high school basketball game between Centennial and Santiago High shows an adult run down from the stands and start swinging at players.
And then everybody started coming down, and it was just a bit chaotic from there.
The chaos continued with that same man saying he was going to get a gun. Moments later in the school parking lot, he pointed a gun at several students before fleeing.
It's inexcusable.
Corona PD announcing Friday they arrested 39-year-old Thaddis Brooks for the January 26th incident. While serving the arrest warrant Thursday, police discovered more than 40 dogs on Brooks's Paris property, adding animal cruelty to the litany of charges he faces from the basketball game. It was like a relative, like brother, cousin, dad, uncle, what?
You know, a lot of times these sporting events, we have friends and family members that come out from all over to view the events, the sports. So it could have been related, correct.
The Corona Norco Unified School District says the incident was extremely upsetting, and they're increasing law enforcement presence at athletic events. A fight at the girls' basketball game.
Yeah, that's not a normal thing here. It's like...
Back at Centennial, students say it's just another reminder to be aware of who's in the crowd.
It's kind of crazy how you see that even happen, like, at your own school.
As for the first time that this suspect had done this, back in 2017, he got into a fight on a basketball court at a middle schoolers game where a 14-year-old boy was injured. As for the suspect tonight, he is in jail. His bail is set at $350,000. His charges ranging from child abuse to animal cruelty to a felon in possession of a firearm.
The man, later identified as Thaddis Brooks, runs down the court and starts swinging at the players. The chaos continues with Brooks allegedly telling others he was going to get a gun. Moments later in the parking lot, he allegedly pointed a gun at several students before taking off. On Friday, the Corona Police Department announced officers arrested Brooks on for the January 26th incident. Police investigated Brooks' home in Paris, P-E-R-R-I-S, and found more than 40 dogs in his property and an animal cruelty to the litany of charges he faces from the basketball game brawl. Did that make any sense? This isn't Brooks' first time he tried to beat up a child. Back in 2017, he got into an on-court brawl at the middle of a basketball game. A 14-year-old boy was injured in the incident. So he's a big old bully that picks on little kids. You want to fight? Get in the ring with the WWE wrestlers. You want to fight? Get in the ring with I don't know what's that guy? McGregor, O'Connell. I don't know if I'm saying his name right. Floyd Mayweather, Mike Tyson. Picking on girls, and then he's got 40-some dogs. I guess he beats up on the dogs as well, most likely. You guys, some of these people, I hate to say it, it's really no hope for them. It's no hope for them, okay. Anthony Lowe, stabbing victim, speaks out. And he's saying, I'm the victim. Okay, so this is the man, let me see, This is the man. Oh, this is the man that was, oh, wow. The disabled guy that wasn't, well, I don't want to be insensitive, but he really wasn't acting like he was disabled. Huntington Park, California. Anthony Lowe was a double amputee who was shot and deleted by police in Huntington Park, sparking protests against use of force against a person with a disability. But what led up to that fatal encounter is a story that has never been told until now. Ramiro, who asked to only be identified by his first name.
That's right. That stabbing actually considered attempted murder on the victim who is talking to Good Day LA exclusively. We'll get to him in a moment. Meanwhile, Anthony Lowe's family yesterday took to the streets of Huntington Park in protest.
We want murder charges! What do we want? Murder charges!
The family of Anthony Lowe, together with community activists and Assemblyman Reggie Jones Sawyer, took to the streets in protest, calling for charges to be filed against the officers involved in the shooting death of Lowe. Moments after police say Lowe had stabbed a pedestrian with a 12-inch butcher knife and was waving that night in the moments before he was shot. Now, family members say he posed no threat and was experiencing a mental health crisis. But the man who says Lowe stabbed and almost killed him disagrees. Take a look. Calling Lowe a threat to society. The victim is Ramiro. He's a father of 4 who spoke to us from his hospital bed in an exclusive interview as he struggles to understand why Lowe, a man he had never seen before, attacked him. Now, the violent encounter was caught on surveillance camera and shows the stabbing on the corner of Slauson and Santa Fe in Huntington Park. Ramiro, in a white T-shirt, had just crossed the street when he says Lowe jumped out of his wheelchair, hobbled over, and stabbed him with that butcher knife, narrowly missing his heart, collapsing his lung, and leaving Ramiro in critical condition. It is what set off the chain of events on January 26th.
Even though he don't have legs, he's still a lethal weapon, or he's still a threat to society because he could carry a gun or a knife. If he had a gun, I wouldn't be here. If I would have went and struck him back when he struck me with that knife, he could have struck me 3 or 4 times. I wouldn't be here. So to me, even though he doesn't have a leg, he's a threat.
Now, Ramiro says he is the victim, the forgotten victim in this entire story. He ended up spending over a week in the trauma unit in critical condition, and the road to recovery for him will be a long one. His family has set up a GoFundMe link. It is on our webpage, foxla.com. That briefing from Huntington Park Police is set for later this morning. Reporting
Mr.
live.
Ramiro didn't know Mr. Lowe. See, that's what I was thinking when I first saw the video. I didn't really know. Wait a minute. Some of these people with these GoFundMes get me. I'm just keeping it real. I sympathize for you, Mr. Ramiro. I'm sending out prayers of healing to you. He wants $200,000. That's the goal. $200,000. $480 has been raised so far. Okay, so he didn't get a lot. Look like he should have received more than that. He's in California. Video obtained by Fox 11. You can see Lowe in his wheelchair moving up and down the street at the corner of Slauson and Santa Fe. Moments later, Ramiro in a white T-shirt crosses the street, and in seconds he says his life is forever changed. As I was crossing the street, this is Mr. Ramiro. As I was crossing the street, I noticed halfway down crossing, when the green light was on for me to cross, I know that he got off his wheelchair and had to stop and takes about 3 or 4 steps and looks at me, but I think nothing of it, right? So when we were at the same level, me and him on the side, he just told me, "Are you all right?" And I had my hand as well because I carried a black duffy bag. He just punched me, but I did not see the knife on him, and I took 2 steps forward. And that's when I noticed the blood gushing out of the bottom of my armpit, Ramiro recalled. Wow. You guys, it's graphic. I mean, I'm not seeing a video. I'm just seeing a picture. I see him lunging. He's like way down here, but boy, he lunging with that knife. And it was a big old knife. Ramiro thought he had been punched, but quickly realized he had been stabbed with what turned out to be a 12-inch butcher knife, which punctured and collapsed his lung. But doctors feared the knife had also hit his heart. Those 4 hours were excruciating for me because it was either life or death or surgery. Big surgery, major surgery. When he came in, it was just a punctured lung. It was a blessing for me, he said. Ramiro, a man of faith, thanked God for what he calls a miracle. He also credits a kind stranger for calling 911. He said they applied pressure to his wound. I think he did save my life by putting pressure on it and giving me those words of hope. He said that everything's gonna be all right. That is the physical part. Emotionally, it is another story. The warehouse worker and father of 4. This man got 4 kids. Struggles to understand why it is something he said. Why it is something he says he did not deserve. Yes, you guys, please reach out to this man's GoFundMe page. It should be way more. That's why I said I really think when I see a lot of these GoFundMe pages, the people that they should be donating and supporting, they don't. They get a little bit, and the ones that's like little silly, dumb things. I want to go on a trip to Costa Rica to take pictures of the birds. I want a baby horse. I want a new bicycle. I want to go to have a wedding in Paris. People be donating big time for that. So here he's saying, just walking down the street, coming from looking for a job to try to survive and put money in my place. Pray for my family and get struck by a knife and I would lose my life. Ramiro says he holds no hate in his heart for Lowe, but while he feels sorry for his attacker's family, he says he has no compassion for the man he says almost killed him, almost deleted him. I'm the victim. I did not provoke him, he explained. Why should I feel compassion to someone that does things like that? Ramiro says he has never seen Anthony Lowe before the stabbing. His road to recovery is going to be a long time. Those looking to help, click to his GoFundMe page. And I'm sending prayers and the white light to him and his family, and also for God to touch people's hearts, to send money for this man, because I'm telling you, and y'all know when I share with y'all when I had spent that week at the hospital, that week, and I had insurance that week, because, and I'm not blaming it, and don't, a few people has already responded to me. I'm like, I don't be checking the comments like that. I don't know where but I share with y'all, I had got the blood clots, and I'm not blaming it on the my second COVID shot, and I did get a Pfizer, but that whole week I was just miserable. That week of being in the hospital, I think that was 100,000 or 91,000. No, they didn't. I'm still stuck with still a bit that we're still paying, but the insurance, thank God, picked up the big part of it. So yeah, a week, and then you still gotta go back home and recuperate. So that's and then this man got 4 kids. No telling. People, so I'm not going to go in on Mr. Lowe. I saw his family was saying the police was wrong. It was an overkill. They didn't have to do it. He didn't pose a threat. You guys, the young man had that what it looked like to me this big. It almost looked like it was the size of his head or bigger than his head. So he had something like this, and he jammed it. And he's looked to me to be no bigger than this. And that man was way up there. And he took that thing and just jammed it. Yeah, when I first saw the video, whatever, I didn't know what it was. I was in disbelief because it was unbelievable. I thought, you know, maybe this is from a movie. Maybe it's a preview of a movie. I didn't really believe that someone would do that. And then the family said that Mr. Lowe had just recently been amputated, so he's dealing with that, healing, mental health, mental illness. But y'all know from me doing these videos, when the cop tell you to put whatever you have down, I don't care if it's a Snickers. I don't care if it's your, I don't know, your blueberries. I don't care if it's your teddy bear. You better throw that down. And he had a big old long butcher knife, and you just stabbed someone. And then it looked like he was trying to get his little wheelchair and hop on and thought he could. Where you was gonna go? You're not gonna outrun the cops. Again, I'm not for cops shooting people in the back. They said, I don't know, did they taser Mr. Lowe? Or they said they tried to taser him. It just, I don't know. You got a gun. This man got a knife. I don't know how anybody could be in fear of their life against somebody that's barely, I don't know, 2 feet tall, and they running away from you, and you big old guys with guns, and you got tasers. You know, will they case a story be as big as the Tyree Nichols or I forgot the other young man? No, it's not, because Tyree Nichols' case is totally different. So I don't see them. I know they're going to try to lawyer up and sue. I don't see them suing or winning or getting the same outcry, outpouring, or protest like with the Tyree Nichols. So again, you guys, if y'all have any comments, any thoughts, please leave it. Let me know, how did you like this video? What stand out? What stories was just, you know, really crazy? Again, stay healthy, happy, and blessed. And thank you for joining me. Maria loves to talk.